All right, what's going on, everybody? It's been quite some time since my last upload. I have sort of taken a break after blowing that $400,000 account. I did try with another prop firm throughout December, and I wasn't able to have much success. It was actually a futures prop firm, and I realize now that I don't really trade much forex. And when I was trading with a forex broker, I was really just trading the stock indices, specifically Nas 100. So I've decided to open up that personal account that I had mentioned in one of my shorts, and I think in the video I made about blowing my account. And it I've decided to switch to futures. So I'm not trading any forex. I am now trading with a futures broker, and I did a $500 deposit, so I'm trading on a $500 account. That's my account size. I'm risking about 5% per trade, so it's going to be about $25. Normally, with especially with larger accounts, I would risk a lower percentage, maybe somewhere closer to 1 or 2%, maybe at the max. But because of the lower account value, I am increasing my risk a little bit. Uh, I've stuck with 3 setups a week, but I've started to try and untrain some of my natural tendencies that I run into when I'm trading that tends to just sabotage myself. And I've been reading a couple of books that sort of talk about this psychological aspect of trading, and it really ties into why 90% of people lose money in the stock market and trading in general. And it, in a nutshell, it boils down to fear, and how when you enter a trade, the natural way for people to interpret a winning position is to be fearful that the market is going to take away their profits. At the same time, in a losing position, when the market's going against you, naturally people become hopeful, right? That position is going to turn around for them, and that's what tends to cause people to develop the bad habit of adding to losing positions, right? When you add to a position that you're down on, it takes fewer points for it to turn back in your favor for break even. But the problem with this is that you also are reluctant to add to winning positions. And so when you think about when the market is telling you that the price is headed in a specific direction, and you are at that point fighting the market, this is the type of reason why people can maybe have 50, 60% win rates, but they're not profitable because their average loss might be 1.5 or even 2 times as much as their average win. And so when you sort of, it takes a lot of time. Like it's taken a lot of blown accounts, a lot of money lost before I've realized that the fire is hot, and that when I'm in a losing position, my first inclination now is to get out of that position rather than to add to it. And especially looking over some of my trades that I've taken in the past on other prop firm accounts, that's exactly what I was doing. They were horrible trades. I mean, I was adding to positions that were just continuing to go against me and hoping that it was going to turn around my favor. And after going over, reflecting, analyzing all my horrible trading that I had done in the past 6 7 months, I've started to correct that. And part of correcting that was realizing that if I want to be profitable, I have to put myself in a position where I'm going to be much more inclined to risk appropriately, much more inclined to follow my process and not deviate from the rules that I set for myself. So part of that was getting away from prop firms, right? Like I said in one of my previous videos, I get very gambly when I'm trading with prop firm money. It's not my money, so it's not the same level of emotional attachment. It just isn't. And so now that I have this $500 account, I am much more hesitant to participate in these same sorts of mistakes and repeat this negative process. And so, like I said, I've been risking $25. Still sticking with 3 setups a week. I trade usually between the time of the open. I usually wait until around 10 o'clock because there's a lot of fake outs between 9:30 and then. But usually between 9:45 at the earliest, maybe, and 11 o'clock a.m. So I don't trade outside of that. And I stick to 3 setups a week. So yesterday I lost $25. That was this trade here. This is the 15-minute chart on the Micro E Mini NASDAQ 100 futures. And I had that buy there at 17,850 and got stopped out about halfway down the candle. I saw the break of the candle, so I figured this may be a good momentum play. It's 10 o'clock, and I thought there was going to be some sort of bounce, and it came sometime later, but I'm not I don't regret it. I'm not upset about it. This bounce occurred after the time that I allot for myself to take entries. So it's just simply not part of my plan, and that's perfectly okay. And I'm sort of starting to treat these trades a lot more like from a long term perspective, and I'm recognizing that 9 times out of 10, whatever strategy I flesh out, it's going to have somewhere between a 50 to 60% hit rate. That's what I'm expecting. Maybe higher, that'd be great. But at the end of the day, I'm going to have to acknowledge that roughly half of my trades are likely to be losses. And when you start your day with that reminder, it really makes it easier to then expect that loss, and it won't be as traumatizing, or it won't be as fear inducing, because when you enter that trade from the mindset that I am okay with risking X amount of money and losing X amount of money. And it's just the simple fact that before I wasn't really doing that. I was entering into a trade because I was convinced that I saw an edge in the market. And when that edge didn't manifest or didn't play out, it very much so went against the grain mentally for me. And it was very difficult to follow that process then, because then I begin to question the process. But you really just have to realize that that distribution of wins and losses is going to be random, right? So on a trade by trade basis, you're never going to be able to know, is this trade going to be a winner? Is this trade going to be a loser? And because of that, it's all the more important for you to make sure that you are not jeopardizing your risk by impulsively moving your stop loss, or God forbid, not using one. So we're going to look forward into today. I usually will look for some sort of fair value gap that the price is reacting to as a key level that I look for. Today I took a short right here and wound up capturing the exact move that I was anticipating in the market. It could have gone a little bit longer. I could have gotten maybe another 30% of profit based on what I made, but it's you're not always going to catch the tops and bottoms, and I'm perfectly okay with that. I made this amount. This profit was about $120. I made it in less than 5 minutes, and on a profit earn account, I'd be like, that's like a break even win. I'm not even excited about that. But when I've taken the time to reflect and realize what I should be doing and what I shouldn't be doing, when I see myself take a trade the right way and have a profit, it is much more satisfying regardless of how much it was. Because for me, I've realized that it's not hard to find a winning trade, but it was much harder for me to follow that process. So now that I'm sort of starting to correct that, I get much more satisfaction. I feel much more proud of myself for being able to trade the right way versus just being able to make a lot of money. Um, and that was the trade for today. Obviously it's Friday, so we're gonna only have taken 2 setups this week, which is also perfectly fine. I'm not looking to force a third setup if I don't see something during the times that I'm trading. I'm not gonna trade outside of that or try and force a win or something. And in my experience over the past 2 years and some change that I've been trading, that tends to result in me losing profits. So that's going to do it for this video. I do apologize for whatever 2 people may be watching these that was wondering what happened to this guy that would post his losses. But I have now taken a small pivot in the direction of my trading, and this is the current path that I'm on. I don't know when the next video will be, but whenever I have some sort of epiphany or realization or hit some type of milestone, I'll give an update. But until then, I hope you guys all do well in your trades, and yeah, take it easy.